Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Rob Baer, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Mike Haspil, and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Greetings and felicitations.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
I like that. It's way to bring it home, Wyatt. Way to bring it home. Are you looking kind of jacked, dude? Are you just like closer to the camera or like?
No.
He's a grown man. That's what they look like.
Oh. I don't know anything about that.
Speaking of grown men,
I got a workout for you. Just lift your whole body weight like this, like 800 times a day. You have really nice shoulders.
Huge shoulders.
I had a photo from a long time ago, like 30 years ago, that I posted on the Facebooks, and somebody asked if my friend in the photo was Rob. And it's not, but he has a Rob Baer look to him. So I said, no, that's not Rob. That's my buddy, Brian. And they were just like, oh, I was just curious of what Rob looked like 30 years ago. And I was just like, the same as he looks like now.
Yeah.
What did I look like 30 years ago?
The same. He hasn't upgraded his human suit.
I think I had like skater hair, to blend in with the kids.
Of course.
Yeah, totally.
Makes sense.
True. It's true. Kenny posted a picture of me with some fake sideburns recently.
Yep. Yeah.
Facebook knew it was me immediately because first thing it showed me when I logged in was Kenny posting a picture of not him.
That picture's from like 4 years ago. You've seen it before.
I know.
Yeah, I've saved it. It's when we used to do the convoy. Remember? We would bump docks on our Twitch raids.
Yep.
We're really into the trucker theme for a while.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Just two dudes in the trucker stuff.
Yeah, I was in the rocking chair. You were in the back door.
We actually found out all these terms about trucking.
Oh yeah, we called David.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? But anyone watching live, I did post that picture that Wyatt was talking about on our. You can see it right now on the screen instead of Rob's face. Evidence of Rob 30 years ago.
Oh, hold on. Now I gotta go see.
That does look
I
like
haven't
Rob.
seen it.
I've seen Rob wear that exact outfit.
That does look like Rob.
No.
Yes, it does.
That's
the
like
guy on the right looks like you. Not a carbon copy, but from a distance, I would mistake that man for you.
Easily.
Why is it the stream preview will show up when you're what? I gotta click on one of these to see.
Yeah, you gotta watch an ad, Doug.
Oh wow! Wait, what? Which one? That's Dave in that picture.
Dave's on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, the other guy
is on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Brian.
That dude looks like a vampire.
Okay. So
Why
we're
you gotta tell it yourself like that, Rob?
Oh shit.
It doesn't look like me. That guy looks like a vampire who hasn't seen a lot of day. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Self-burn. Oh.
Yeah. He needs to go on a gluten diet. He would lose like 30 pounds right off the bat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. He actually doesn't.
Are you telling me why you look different now versus how you looked 30 years ago?
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, there's another classic.
Yeah. So as we're setting up, this is the After Hours podcast, which just came off the heels of our pregame show. Talked about a lot of things. Haspil promises a legendary Haspil's Corner where he's going to drop some hidden gems on us. He's going to hold himself to 36 hours is what he's promised us.
Yeah. I can't talk about it because I think maybe two people in the chat will know what I'm talking about. But it was a big deal to me. So
I'm very excited about it. And we're going to talk about that new Forge World index and some interesting observations we've made specifically over the last few days, but good conversation to look forward there. Rob's put together an exciting tabletop marketplace.
every tabletop marketplace is exciting, Kenny.
I know you believe that. And whereas now it is time for our joke section.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Got a really good one. All right. So it's the fight of the century. Two absolute titans are going to duke it out. Would you rather be the fight manager for Ronald McDonald or Colonel Sanders?
I'm the manager, like I'm the guy. I'm hyping the fight. I'm the quarter man.
You are the fight manager for either Ronald McDonald or Colonel Sanders in the fight of the century.
Ronald McDonald all the way. That guy's a straight killer.
He's a savage, dude. I'm definitely
killed more people than KFC for sure.
For sure. Billions of hamburgers sold, son. But like as a fight manager, so I'm definitely gonna have to hype this fight.
Yeah.
And I'm responsible for establishing my team. I'm definitely also going to appoint myself as the cut man because I need to be ringside with that fucking vicious beatdown. But I'm excited for someone else to pick Colonel Sanders so I know who I'm going to be working with to make sure we get our $1 billion.
Yeah, we're going to get paid.
Like me and Haspil are working with Ron McDonald. Rob, we need you to pick up Colonel Sanders.
I could probably pull that off. I mean, I do live in the South.
Yeah, see? Demographics. This is going to be hype. So, man, I'm thinking about it. So, we got Ronald McDonald coming in. Like, literally, like, you already pitched it, Mike. Like, no one's killed more people than him.
No, Stone Killer.
Stone Killer. Colonel Sanders coming in.
Southern gentleman style. Like,
ooh. Is there an epic rap battle with these two guys?
There has to be.
See, right out the gate, we have to catch like Epic Lloyd and Nice Peter or whatever.
Yeah.
And we have to get those guys together as part of our hype train. We got to get a epic rap battle beatdown, like says. That's going to be how we hype this fight.
The Colonel doesn't have a crew. He's screwed right off the bat. Grimace is going to hold him in the parking lot. Hamburglar, jack his shit.
Jack his shit.
He never even makes it to the fight.
I mean, the Colonel does have a crew. He's got like, there's like 10 different Colonels now. You can have like the enter the Colonel verse. Like,
I like it.
Okay, all right.
You sold me with enter the Colonel verse. Now I need to see this.
And then I'll do like that Spider-Man, like,
yep.
Like, and then it's like, you know, like the background is like future KFC and like, 70s KFC and like,
oh my God. All right.
Nope.
I'm comfortable with my decision on this. This is a good would you rather because there's no negative here.
No.
It's just straight good old fun. So obviously we'd have to get some influencers online talking about this, gonna get some epic rap battles, go on a podcast tour. I could definitely see us getting Ronald McDonald on like Joe Rogan. Smoke some weed, you know, like do some CBD oil.
I really want to say that like the first half hour of that Joe Rogan thing would be hilarious. And then Ronald's going to say something really dark.
Really dark.
like so dark. You're just like, Jesus, I don't know if I want to listen to this anymore.
Joe Rogan's going to like literally for the next 3 podcasts be like, yo, I know Ronald McDonald. He's a fucking savage. And he's going to be like talking to Jocko and Jocko's going to be like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. That episode gets pulled from Spotify. Like no one sees the end of it.
I'm in on this. That's a good one. But Rob has already sold the fight better than I could ever imagine with the Colonel verse. They basically, you never know which Colonel you're up against.
Yeah. Like in those Colonels, man, those are some different eras. Like
we're talking Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel, Kitchen Fresh Chicken Colonel, KFC Colonel. You know, like those are all different Colonels.
One of them is Norm McDonald.
Yep.
Or more.
Also cool.
Or McDonald. McDonald versus McDonald. All right.
Yeah, nuts.
I'm in.
I would watch that.
Yeah, good one. Good way to break it up. No poop involved in this one. No.
No.
Pooping spiders.
They have secret weapons because someone in the chat, P-Chan, said he's assembling the 12 ingredients like Dragon Balls.
Oh, shit.
But then the Ronald McDonald's going to pull out some obscure crap like the McRib. And it just gives him bam.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to remember, Colonel Sanders is a colonel. He's seen some shit. He's been to war. Donald he's a clown.
He's got clown shoes,
John
bro.
Wayne Gacy was a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. See, this is our hype machine right here.
Give it to you.
Just saying, dog. Get slashed, get murdered.
Yeah.
He rolls with a crew, and it's like maybe he can beat the colonel with the help from some old friend.
No, it's that grimace from the top rope with the metal chair.
He's going to put together a crew to go steal the 12 herbs and spices. Now I want to see this movie. Man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now that we've hyped it.
See, you also if I was on the team, I would definitely hire Wendy's gal to be our Twitter person because she is savage AF.
Oh yeah.
She is.
Our social media build up to the fight would be so much hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of really want this to happen now. This is so sad. This is fiction. Oh my god!
Epic rap battle. Some of the
in my mind, last thing in my mind, the hamburger was like Kano though for some reason. Y'all can remember Kano's fatality would rip your heart out.
Yeah,
like I could see him ripping dude's rib out. Right.
Yeah, get the McRib, slap it on a bun.
Yeah.
Fatality. Next year's McRib.
Wow.
Anyway, that's the last thing I had. Sorry, Rob. Please do some news.
Please do some news. It's kind of there's some exciting times out there. So, new release wise, next weekend we got Blood Bowl and Spooky Boys.
Blood Bowl. Oh,
there it is. But I imagine we're gonna get some teasers this week because they were showing off the Gladiator. They're talking about Death Guard. Talking about
isn't the preview called something in Decay? Yeah.
Decadence and Decay.
Yeah. Imagine there's going to be some Nurgle shit in there.
Yeah, you would think. It looks like there's some sort of Dark Mechanicum, some Vansars, some crazy Gabo looking things. It's hard to kind of pick out some of the pictures, but definitely I'm sure a lot of eyes are going to be peeled on that on Saturday because they did say there would be new 40K. Dope. They also revealed Battle Forces were making their triumphant return. They kind of hit it in a video on Sunday. And if you skipped over a couple of frames, you didn't see that they're like, oh yeah, Battle Forces are coming back. And then they dropped the full release because there's 6 for 40K. There's 4 for fantasy or 4 for AOS, but no word on pricing. We broke them down. Hopefully they will stick to between 170 and 200 like last year's because that would make sense given the value inside. But they could slide up past 200. It's really hard to say at this point, which would be kind of once you start crossing that $200 threshold, it's like you're not getting new models, so you're just getting kind of a deal. But you gotta bring something more to the table, I feel like, at this point in time.
Is anybody else mesmerized by this cat attacking this string behind Wyatt?
Leo was having a great time.
Like it's a fucking string. There's not even a toy on it. It's just a string.
Nah.
Yeah, he ripped all the toys off to get to the string.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need any of this. All that superlative. I just need the string.
God.
Yeah, dude. I can just replace that string with more string.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's a very cost efficient cat.
He's very cost conscious for
good kid.
Dude, cat toys can cost a lot of money.
Dog, I have a dog. I have like 48 dog toys.
Yeah. And which one does he play with? The paperback or she?
She plays with them all. She's a dog. She's very expensive. She needs them all. Like they all need to have been purchased. But like if I had just thrown down a string, she would be like, get the fuck out of here.
So we got the preview on Saturday, which is going to be dope, I'm sure. I don't know if you guys saw the live stream from Army Painter yesterday.
Oh, I did.
That looks pretty sweet. So they had this build a dungeon kit coming out that's $99.
Let me say something on that. So I watched it. As soon as it started, I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Another dungeon tile set.
Right.
It's very eye rolly. And then when I watched it, I was like, this is actually new. This is an instant classic from Army Vader. Like it's not a set already made that's gonna sit on your shelf for 1,000 years that you're gonna like paint it, and like 90% of the hype has been removed from like because it's already done. It's a kit to make your own. Mm-hmm. And they show you in great detail some of these amazing tricks to doing it with the tools that come in the set. I was straight blown away. I was eye roll city, dog, for like 10 minutes. It's worth taking a look at.
Yeah, I think we can all agree if you've ever tried to make your own terrain, like $100, like, oh, it's $100. But then when you think about it, like how much are you going to drop when you go to Michael's to like buy stuff to build terrain if you don't already have a bunch of things collected from over the years, right? It's like I've been Michael's
for breaking into that seat to break in. Yeah. It's like it's brilliant, and
it comes with not only the tools you need to make these dungeon tiles, but also a lot of the raw material, including that spray. Like everybody makes a mistake and they spray the styrofoam, and of course it dissolves away. So they're like include primer that you can use on it, like because nobody thinks about that, right? When you're starting out, so it's just a really cool kit, like how they presented and everything. And I think I was shocked. The video I went and checked this morning, the video only had like 1,200 views, and I'm like, this thing is big deal. Like it's big. It's big. It's gonna go places. So I can't wait to see when they actually like put it out. Because I think it's gonna do well in a lot of stores.
Anybody watching this at home, there's a link on my Facebook page. So if you're curious about it, easy to navigate to.
So, yeah, super easy. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, so they unveiled Battle Forces. They're coming out. Hopefully they keep the same pricing, because once you start to slide over $200, not so much. Upzone, if you haven't seen the Kickstarter, I think it's still got, as of like 2 days ago, it had like 16 days. So we're probably within a 2-week ending time. It's pop-up terrain. So like basically it literally just like it sounds like a pop-up book, but it's
I saw a Facebook ad for it. Took me to a cryptic website.
Yeah, right. Did it have boner pills and sketchy deals?
It did, but the boner pills did not last for the advertised amount of time.
I think it's up to. You got to read the fine print. That's always the problem with those ads. The problem is this Kickstarter is doing really well, and people have already started to let's say spoof it, like putting ads on Facebook that point towards actual websites where they say they're selling it, but
to basically a payment wall that you will pay for something that never shows up.
Yeah. So like, just keep an eye out. Make sure the only place you can get this stuff is to pledge, with the official Kickstarter.
If you're not pledging on the Kickstarter, it's not real.
It is not real. So look out for that. You'll probably see a lot of ads out there right now because they increased their ad spend, but just make sure they go to the Kickstarter and it's all legit. It's kind of crazy how something does so well and people are already trying to sell it when it isn't even a legitimate product yet.
I'm selling the iPhone 12 right now.
You sure that's not pre-order?
I got it right here.
Yeah, it's out.
Just hit me up on my PayPal pay link.
I got 6, fell off the truck. Just hit me up.
Absolutely.
Mail them right to you.
A little bit of drama on the Star Wars FFG front. It looks like Asmodee has decided to move the development and I guess the whole studio in general over to Atomic Mass Studio, which currently produces Marvel Crisis Protocol with some dope ass minis. So I'm hoping we start seeing some Legion minis that dope going forward. But so Armada, X-Wing, Legion, all that stuff has been kind of moved over to a different studio under the Asmodee umbrella.
Doesn't that kind of make sense though? Because then Asmodee can just concentrate on board games, which they know.
Right.
And they don't really know mini games.
So you kind of see, like, remember when all that stuff was happening with FFG and they were just they liquidated the RPG department, then they liquidated the digital department, and then all that was left was basically living card games like L5R, which I think Asmodee might actually own, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
And now that's gone. So like, where'd FFG go? I don't know, but hopefully we'll have some interesting stuff coming out of that studio for design. And
yeah, it is kind of disappointing because when I worked at the game store and people would ask me, about an FFG game back in the day, they'd be like, hey, is this game good? And if I hadn't played it, I could tell them, look, I've never played an FFG game that was bad. Never.
True.
And so I was just like, you're probably good. Like, it's probably good. And my favorite board game of all time is Elder Sign. That's FFG.
They have a ton of great games. And the games aren't going in, the board games aren't going anywhere, of course, but it's just really, it's really interesting to kind of watch all this stuff happen and read the words and then, just kind of follow it all. Also previewed, like I said, I think GW kind of dropped some previews this week. And usually when they put stuff out like a week ahead of time, usually that means it's going to go on pre-order the next week for delivery the week after. The first week of December last year was super busy because we saw New Mephiston, Blood of Baal. We got the Battle Forces. Then the week after, I think, was the General's Handbook, which came out in the summer. So I don't think they're doing that again this year because we just got that. Or maybe they are, but I don't see how they can justify any points changes at this point because nobody knows. So look for some of that Marine stuff to come out with the Blood Angels because we saw a preview for the Gladiator tank. Right. So Gladiator tank's probably coming out. You might see Assault Marines. I'm sure we're going to see more this weekend, but I'm sure the stuff we see this weekend is going to be more for like January, February kind of release. They generally kind of skip over the near term with their previews. Right. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Gamma, which is the Game Manufacturers Association of Retailers. They announced that their convention, usually in Reno, Nevada, usually a week or two before Adepticon, they're doing it virtual this year. And this is where, we see some previews for GW at it. It's in March. And like all the retailers go there, to have all these clinics and the manufacturers go there. And, they kind of talk about new products coming out and just different processes and things for the industry and, the game stores in general. So it's going to be interesting to see that move to a virtual kind of event. But side note, they also announced that they are rolling out local game store day for March 27th. So hopefully we can all go into our local game stores on March 27th and help support them in some way. And there'll be some sort of freebie and, specials and things just designed to get people into the store. Also, don't forget, next Saturday is Small Business Day. So if you can go down to your local game store, try to support them where you can because it's a tough time out there for the local retailers.
No, it's not next Saturday. It's the next one after that.
It's next Saturday, Black Friday. The day after Black Friday, right?
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving this Saturday?
No.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, the Friday after that.
Well, the Thursday from 1 week from today is Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I am scared.
I'm gearing up right now to go out and hunt the elusive PlayStation 5.
Oh, cranky.
Fuck some people up, right life mode.
I'm still not entirely convinced that Amazon or any of the other big boxers held out stock for Black Friday.
No.
But if they do, I'm gonna try to get one.
I wish you luck, sir.
I was having a conversation with my friend last night, and it made me realize something that GW did that a lot of other people should do, which is kind of weird. If Sony had come out preemptively and said, hey, there's this like global pandemic thing going on. We're not going to be able to make as many as we initially wanted to. But what we're going to let you do is if you can't get one on release day, you can just order one direct. You can sign up an order and we'll fulfill it as we make more runs, right? If they had just done that and then everything still happened the exact same way where it all sold out within minutes or like the first couple of hours, there would be no resale market, right? Like maybe a little bit, but it would drop off really excessively because everybody would know, like, if I absolutely must have one right this minute and I'm willing to pay $1,800 for a PS5, like they'll get one, right? But most normal people would be like, well, I didn't get one on the day, but I'll just order one for retail price and it'll get to me in the next like 2 or 3 weeks. I think a lot of people would have been very happy with that rather than the unexpected, I can't get this, I have no idea when I'll be able to get it, or like any of that type of stuff.
It's funny how wargaming prepared us for that.
Yeah. And I was like, man, if you should have
made to order PlayStation.
Yeah. That's exactly what he's pitching.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea. I do want to mention one or two other things real quick. So Games Workshop is hiring an app developer with iOS or Android skills.
A company, right? Like a whole company.
Nah.
Just one person.
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
The one guy.
The one. Again,
they have a team, but they're hiring a guy.
Well, maybe they just need one person who actually knows what the fuck they're doing to tell all the people how to do their job.
What are the credentials requirement on the application?
I'm glad you asked. Let's see. So proven experience in a fast-paced digital mobile app development function, ideally consumer-facing, grounded understanding of the end-to-end delivery cycle from product management through test to QA. Languages, iOS, Swift, Android, Kotlin. I don't know what that is. Frameworks, iOS, Android, Node.js, React. I don't know what those things are, but I'm sure somebody important does. It's an excellent opportunity to join a busy and well-established company that continues to lead the industry and delight our customers. If you want to be a part of our exciting future, we want to hear from you. But before that, they said that it's an exciting time to join Games Workshop and our customer technology team as we develop and grow to become a high-velocity delivery, customer-focused, agile software engineering team. The team is involved in delivering new digital products and services to customers and modernizing our technology stack to allow rapid delivery of secure, scalable services, always using data and testing to drive decision-making and to measure success. And furthermore, this is the part that me and LT got a chuckle out of. As a mobile native app developer, you will be responsible for delivering solutions to business problems using mobile native applications, as well as innovating and driving the adoption of modern technical practices throughout the wider team.
So they need a grown-up.
Do they list how much the position is going to pay?
I like Kenny's summation of it.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't think they list. They don't list paying any of these.
Okay.
Ever.
I'm just imagining that like
You get paid in models.
There's going to be a lot of people that could do this job for them that won't because they're not going to get paid enough.
You get paid in models.
Anyway,
Totally.
that was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, but when I read that and all that, I was.
That's a pile of shit. That's like a bunch of nonsense. Like
a lot of red flags in my mind, but maybe.
Someone will take that job for sure. Like KR Quincy and shit.
Yeah, I think somebody will take it. But like, I definitely don't think they're going to get paid for the amount of headache that job is going to entail, because again, they don't need to hire one person. They need to outsource to a business that does this for
buy it. I mean, it sounds like they have bigger plans for it, which is
well,
cool.
I don't think they have the liquid assets to just buy companies.
True.
I mean, they can buy a BattleScribe. I guarantee it.
Maybe.
Guarantee they have the liquid for that. But we went in so deep on like why that's not going to occur.
Also,
Anyways.
I don't think we want them to buy BattleScribe, because I think the reason that BattleScribe works so well is that they basically have hundreds of employees, because so much of the work is done by the community rather than like a set team of like 10 people. So if Games Workshop bought it, that's what it would be. It'd be like a set team of like 5 to 10 people, and it would be excessively slow, like to do any type of updates. It'd be just like the updates we get now, where it's like, cool, this new thing came out and it's broken, and we're not going to see an update for it for like 2 months.
But since the community is like relentlessly scrambling, get quick fixes on BattleScribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our shipping analyst checked in again and said that DHL Express plans to invest $813 million in Asian Pacific operations to increase shipping capacity And the Chinese government is putting pressure on one of the world's largest shipping companies to put a cap on container freight rates. So they're trying to keep costs from continuing to climb. Demand is spiking like crazy because of recovery, and the Chinese government is worried that high rates will slow U.S. import demand. So literally, China is trying to lower our transportation costs so we buy more from them, or continue to buy from them, I guess.
I mean, it just sounds like an absolute win. DHL is super fast, and I get a lot of models from.
I get a lot of
that uses DHL.
Yeah.
Does anybody use DHL to get anything out of China? I don't know.
A lot.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It seemed really specific. Like,
I get a lot of very specifically Chinese models through DHL.
Yeah.
Did I say models? I meant products.
Yeah. Right. Totally. Now I get it. Anyway, so that's pretty much the news.
I've got news.
Did we mention that Marvel Crisis Protocol has a bunch of new releases?
Would you like to?
Yeah. Marvel Crisis Protocol has a bunch of new releases.
There it is.
It's the X-Men. The X-Men expansion, the first wave came out.
Those models look so good.
They do.
Got my Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Nice.
Paints them up. Gonna be fresh.
Oh, they're going to be hype. All right, here's my news. No one in chat even mentioned it today. The relentless bombardment I get every stream to make a Custody shirt.
We just assume that you're not going to do it.
Has the prophesied day arrived?
It'll be done tonight. KR Quinn has seen my whips. He's the only person I've allowed to see them because he's the oldest man on the internet. We don't know how much time he has left. And he's been waiting the longest. And so I gave him an opportunity to provide input, and he has provided it, and it's making the cut. So
nice.
It is actually happening. I'll have it ready for Black Friday.
I trust his. Oh yeah, I guess we should, since we're not going to be on next week. I guess we should do a quick blurb about Black Friday. Do you have you haven't sent me any sales stuff yet, Kenny? Oh, I guess I didn't send you the email. Never mind. But send me your Black Friday sales, please. I have gotten a ton of response. It was a really interesting response. So we sent out the email to everybody. Actually, we added a whole bunch of new vendors and people we've discovered through this year, just to get everybody's sales and what they're doing and specials. And we had like 30 sales. I think we're going to blow that away this year for our big Black Friday post. And some of them are already live now. Like Warlord Games has a sale going right now. Dice Head has their Black Friday sale going right now. Battle Foam has a sale going on right now. Early. So those are like some big ones already happening right now. But a lot of folks actually wrote back and was like, no, I can't even keep up with my business right now. I'm not having a sale. And I'm like, that's interesting. Haven't heard that one before. So there's a lot of folks out there that, are still getting that support, and that's good to hear too. Obviously online is doing very well right now. So, look for that big list of the top Black Friday tabletop sales you need to know. Probably, I don't know. We'll put it out like Wednesday, probably on Thursday, maybe Friday. I don't know when we can get to it, but it'll be out and it'll definitely be worth reading.
Well, it's like the biggest article.
It does really well. Yeah. It's very well received generally. We will have a brand new model up on the 3D made to order marketplace. It is a new Demon Knight. I don't think it matters if I show it right now, but there is a new Demon Slayer coming out. It's not the Knight. It's actually a samurai. It's going to be fresh. It's going to have a lot of parts.
It is sick.
It's very good. I showed it to Haspil and Wyatt, and they thought it was a Gundam. And I was like, no. That's the Demon Slayer. It's just awesome. Got a samurai skin and weapons and katanas and wakashashis and I don't even know.
What is it? Why, like Oni Slayer?
Yeah.
It's going to be fresh. So we'll have those up for sale on Black Friday. Don't miss it, because it's going to be a big print on that one. It's a lot of parts.
Black Friday gonna be hype.
Can't wait to go on.
Jump on Spiky Bits, see all the stuff, including this new hot model. Want to jump into a Haspil corner? The most epic Haspil corner of 2020?
I'm ready for it.
I don't
Are we
know.
doing Forge Roll first or second?
After.
Okay.
All right. So I got to set the stage because we're going to travel back to like 1984. It was very recently my birthday, and I will consider this like God's gift to me. So what I'm going to talk about, I think maybe 3 people in the chat are going to know what I'm talking about, but I have to set the stage. So what started is my wife was trying to think of a movie, and she described it very poorly, and I guessed it in like 6 words. She was just like, yeah, there's this movie people were talking about, and there was like a wolf and Matthew Broderick, and I'm like, Lady Hawk. Done, right? So I was just like, Lady Hawk has like a really weird soundtrack.
Lady Hawk is canon, dog.
Yeah, it's very strange soundtrack though. It's very 80s. It's very like kind of techno synth kind of thing, right? So she thought it was Legend, like that the guy was describing. And I said, no, Legend has Tim Curry and Tom Cruise and Mia Sara and music by Tangerine Dream. So I played the music for her from Legend. And she was like, that sounds like Clannad. And Clannad is one of my favorite bands ever. They're an Irish band. Lead singer is Moya Brennan. And you may have not have heard of her, but you've certainly heard of her.
You played the music from Lady Hawk or from Legends?
No.
No, because you said you played her the music from Legends just now.
I played her the music from Legend, which is by Tangerine Dream. And she said, it sounds like Clannad. Like she didn't recognize Tangerine Dream. She said it sounded like Clannad. So Moya Brennan, who's the lead singer of Clannad, her sister is Enya. So you have heard of her. But Clannad, the reason they're my favorite band is because they did the incidental music for an old 1984 show that has a huge influence on me, as big as the Lord of the Rings, called Robin of Sherwood. And it used to air on ITV. It ran for 3 series. It starred Michael Praed, and in season 3, it was Jason Connery. And the incidental music for that show was done by Clannad. And when I first heard it, I thought that is what elven music sounds like in June Under the Stars from Tolkien. So all this roundabout thing, I go down this nostalgia path going, man, I haven't thought of Robin of Sherwood in such a long time, because people like think they know bad endings, right? Like Game of Thrones, season 8, disappointing ending, all this stuff.
My boy survived, so it was a good ending. Tormund Giantsbane won Game of Thrones. Fight me.
In Robin of Sherwood, season 3, it ended horribly, like absolutely horribly. And I'll spoil it. So it's like, it's a show that's like 30 some odd years old.
Just don't tell me what happens in Harry Potter.
So anyway, what happens is there's like some kind of a golem doppelganger of Robin, and he gets killed facing the real Robin. The merry men see the doppelganger, think that Robin is dead, and Marion, who is played by Judy Trott, who is like very hot redhead back in the day, goes and joins a nunnery. And that's it. That's the end of the show. And I was just like, that is awful. Like, everyone thinks Robin is dead. He's not dead. And Marion, in mourning, goes and joins a nunnery. And I was like,
and at no point did Robin Hood come. He's like, no, guys, I'm fine.
I'm literally right here in the bushes.
The show just ended, right? And so I was just like, man, that is just terrible. So here's my birthday present. So I'm like looking through this Robin Hood stuff and going, oh my gosh, I remember this show and it was so good right up until the end. And then I realized that there's something new that came out in 2016 and I never heard of it. And it was called Robin Hood and the Knights of the Apocalypse. And it's the ending of the show. There were 2 more episodes that never aired. And they never filmed them because they ran out of money. So in 2016, for a charity, they went and got the original cast and they did an audio drama, and I got it. And I was like, awesome. Not only that, but if you do like Robin of Sherwood and you even know what I'm talking about at all, Spiteful Puppet that does like British audio dramas, they have more that came out this year. So the show is alive with the original cast. It's literally like if you thought that Star Trek, like the original TOS, just ended and you went, oh, they never finished the 5-year mission. And you found out that, oh no, they did. Like 3 or 4 years ago, they got the whole cast together and they finished the 5-year mission. That's what it felt like for me. And so I got to find out the real ending, and it doesn't suck. And I was
Nice.
just like, yes. So that's my Haspil's Corner. I'm going to do a full QFD episode, probably an hour, at least an hour, about what that show means to me, because it is incredible. And oh, by the way, if you've never seen that show, I'm going to go against what I just said and say, probably don't watch it. It doesn't hold up. It's really very bad. 80s. The fights are very slow.
Like, it's the best show ever, but you probably shouldn't watch it. It's not very good.
Well, it's got a special thing for me, right? Because I watched it when it was on. And if you watch it now, what's interesting though, is they say, like, diversity and inclusiveness is all the hot topic words now. And that just happened, right? Until a couple of years ago, we didn't have that. Robin of Sherwood has an Arab character named Nazir, who is a super badass. He's a Hashashin. He's actually one of the merry men. Maid Marian, not a damsel in distress in this show. She's one of the merry men. Badass with a bow. Straight kills people. So it's like that.
Not robots?
That was doing that. In
Not
fact,
robots.
The character of Azim in the Kevin Costner film was directly inspired by Nazir that was in this show. So anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, go check it out. Go check out, the Knights of the Apocalypse. And I hope you like it. But I was like, it at least didn't end with Marion.
And Knights of the Apocalypse is the audio drama that finishes the show.
Yeah, it's the audio drama that finishes the show.
And it was just your birthday, so you discovered all this on your birthday?
I discovered it on my birthday. Just going down an internet rabbit hole and went, wait, what is this?
No wonder you sounded so happy. I called you on your birthday late at night. You were like super chipper, and I was like, I didn't expect him to be happy. He's been working for like 30 hours and this and that.
Yeah.
Haspil,
Somebody does know what I'm talking about.
There it is.
Imperious Seth goes, yeah, I remember the first episode. The villain was the satanic lord with the Arabic character was his slave. I'm like, yes, that is the first episode, the Baron of Belem. That is it.
one. You said 3 people might know. That's 1 so far.
Yeah,
Who
there's
else?
2 more.
Well,
They'll
it's like
contact you
very
shortly.
weird. It had like neo-paganism involved because Robin was not really a Christian. He worshipped this forest lord called Hearn the Hunter.
Pillar Naskew from YouTube says Robin of Sherwood was awesome. So he said, Guy, Goosebumps was the best. It's 2.
All right. 2.
It's 2.
So close.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Mike, you didn't turn 50 though, did you? You're not 50, right?
Not quite, but yeah. I'm old, Gandalf.
Oh man, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday,
I'm
dude.
glad that all worked out for you.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that QDF episode because I'm not gonna go watch this shit. I'm just gonna listen to you tell me all the good stuff about it.
Yes, that's probably the best way to experience it now. It's just listen to me hype it up. And then when you watch it, you're going to be like, What's really cool is that Mark Ryan, who was like the stunt action guy on there, he played Nazir. He invented like 2 fight patterns that they would use for background soldiers to just fill a fight. You know what I mean? You have the guys in the front that are doing the big choreographed fight scene. And in the background, you have guys just, doing a fight to fill action. Yeah. And so they were called like Robin Hood 1 and Robin Hood 2. And if you know what those fights are, and back then I was actually in a play playing Will Scarlet, and we we used Robin Hood 1 and 2. So I know those fight patterns, and you still see them to this day. You'll be like watching Vikings and the guy in the background. I'm like, hey, Robin Hood 1.
I have a feeling that they did not use those in Witcher.
No.
If you watch the background fights in that. my biggest disappointment with that.
But it like shows up in Braveheart, guys in the background. You're like, oh, there's Robin Hood too. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Crixer. Yes, thank you. So more people remember Robin of Sherwood than play Titanicus?
Impossible.
Ooh,
Oh,
savage.
Impossible. How many people play a Stormbird in their 2,000 point list?
All right, I'm timing you. Go. How many?
I don't know. I don't even have one.
Yeah.
How much is a Stormbird?
$1,000. I don't fucking know.
No way. Is it?
I just made that up, dude. I don't fucking know. I don't look at their.
tell me what its volume is, and I can get pretty.
It's
close
bigger than a Thunderhawk, so it's probably like 22 by 19.
So like $3 in resin. Got it.
Wow.
That's how much it costs.
Does anybody else get captured when they go to Forge World? Like I get captured. Like am I wrong?
Well, that's just you because they know you. It's you.
There's like a klaxon that goes off at GWHQ
Every time you log into this shit.
Wow.
Why do
Somebody
they care?
in the chat said $1,200 for a Stormbird.
Is it?
Really?
I'm not even gonna go look now.
Man, I hope it is.
I think it comes with a Rhino though, so I mean, it makes sense.
so like another 65 cents of resin. Got it.
Yeah, you get it.
Speaking of Forge World, we have not talked about the Forge World Index. We got sidetracked on other things over the last few weeks that we're not going to even talk about anymore. And we had an interesting discussion that went a couple paths in the after hours that we're going to kind of summarize right now. Kick it to Wyatt to talk about the Leviathan and how dominant it was very recently and what it is now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we were having a discussion about how like it seems for the first time in a really long time, if ever, it seems like Forge World stuff is actually like reasonable. Like their data sheets and rules are like reasonable for like the point cost of the model and like what the models actually do on the table, which is nice to see because, as you all know, we had like the year of the unkillable Leviathan Dreadnought last year. And with this new Forge World book, Leviathan did get a points decrease, but that is warranted because it also had a pretty significant stats change. It went down to toughness 7, got its invul save reduced to 5 up. It is not core, so it cannot work with character rerolls or Wisdom of the Ancient rerolls in the Space Marine Codex. But it's still, I think, like 240 points when it has both storm cannon arrays on, which is still like 20 autocannon shots a turn that are hitting on
20 strike 7, neg 2 damage, right?
Yeah. So it's like its offensive capability is still there, right? Like it's still very good, regardless of.
I mean, it got even cheaper than you think because you used that to unlock it with the purchase.
And so now with the relic stuff, there's a thing in the book called Martial Legacy. So instead of having to have a whole unit in your heavy support slot to take the relic, you just spend 1 CP. So if you have a Leviathan and you still want to play it, you can. It's still very useful. But instead of having to have like, a Devastator squad with no weapons or a squad of Eliminators or something like that, just to be able to put it in your army, it no longer does that. It just costs 1 CP. Same with the the Dorito and the Contemptor, Relic Contemptor, and like a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, like nothing as far as the Space Marine stuff is like busted. It's all very like reasonable and fair as far as the rule stuff is concerned, which I think is a really good thing because like one thing that a ton of people have always disliked about Forge World is that, it's like, it's fucking like OP, easy button stuff, like dick stompy models that cost twice as much. And, some tournaments in the EU, like they banned Forge World, right, for a really long time. And so I think now with this stuff to change for the good.
No, it's a good point. So I mean, it's interesting to see, like, you know, we speculated what would happen. We've always said they'll get used to playing Forge World units. They mess with the keywords. It's like they looked at the game, right? They looked at what was the Leviathan. Was like they were like, oh, Leviathan's T8. Well, that's the toughness that matters. It has a 4 invulnerable. That's the invulnerable that matters. You know, they ended up making it so hard to interact with long before Iron Hands.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it was the unintended rule, because like that model was designed for Horus Heresy, right? And was sort of like jerry-rigged into 40k, along with all that other stuff too. Sakarans, the Whirlwind, the big super heavies, all the dreadnoughts, all that shit. It's never meant to be played in 40k, but they gave us rules for it so they could sell more models, and like stuff was really strong. But you know, the Leviathan in and of itself was okay. It was good, but then you have the unintended rules combos, right? You put Duty Eternal on it for a turn. You can make it -1 to hit. You can buff its toughness to 9. You can give it a Feel No Pain from Iron Hands, right? And then you can make it a character in Iron Hands, and then you can like pass off wounds to intercessors with Iron Hands. So yeah, all that stuff was preposterous. So I think now when you have the Dreadnought, it's not core, so you can't get rerolls. But now with those,
but it hits on 2s and it never doesn't. Like when it walks, like
yeah.
Like, so it's interesting, right? So that's a good opener for clearly Forge World's taking a look at the actual game now more than they used to. And you see, like, their intent wasn't that it was this for like weird unkillable conundrum. They made it interactable. They lowered its points. Still has the same offense reasonably. But Rob was reading off some more entries, and Rob is a humongous Forge World fanboy. And led to an interesting topic on like how, though they're still looking at it, it seems like not all races are in the 41st millennium are created equal even in the Forge World universe. There's still some weird swingy things. And I think, what were you going to lead off with? The 700 point Tyranid one?
Yeah, the big flappy, whole flappy eye.
Is that the Haradul?
No, this one's the Haradan. Haradan. It's the big flyer that looks like a dinosaur, sort of. It doesn't have legs. Apparently, never lands.
Rodan.
That one's 700 points. So this is what you get for 700 points. It's toughness 8, 34 wounds, 5 attacks, 3 up save. It has some melee attacks at +2 strength, so it's going to be strength 10, neg 3. It's 6 damage each, and you get to reroll hit rolls of 1 for this guy. It has 1 set of those. And then it has this thing called the Dire Biocannon. It's kind of interesting. It's 48-inch range, heavy 8. It's got 2 of them. So strength 10, neg 3, 3 damage. So it's shooting 16 times, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, right? Until you bracket it down to 10 wounds. But the first time this model is selected to shoot in each of your shooting phases, if you use this ability, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. And each time it makes a ranged attack, you add 1 to the attack or to the attack's wounding roll. So it's strength 10.
+1 to wound, real good. It's one of the best rolls. Takes D3 wounds. Does it have an invulnerable save?
It does not. It's hard to hit, so it's neg 1 to hit because it's flying, but yeah.
So, I mean, when I hear that stat line, like that many wounds, no invulnerable save, it's a huge, huge problem. It's something to say, though, but it's just going to hemorrhage wounds. It's going to get bracketed the first time somebody targets it. So, right. This thing, you know what I mean? So, like, but when I hear that, I'm like, maybe 400 points. Maybe. For that many wounds, I'm like, maybe. It has a lot of offense, but it is squishy. Squishy as hell. How many points is it?
It's 700.
It's a tough pill to swallow, right? It's got it's got offense. It's just so easy to kill. And
that is a big oof.
In the modern game that we play, it's not going to last. It's going to get aced.
Some eradicators would like a word.
Yeah, I mean there's a problem. So like that's a not a good observation by Forgewell for like if you want us to play that in 40K, and then you have failed to look at other things that cost 700 points already when you design this thing.
Well, the Hierophant is 850 and it has a 5-up invul save.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, right? But but this is how swingy it is, and this is why I believe in my heart our Tyranids are going to be up in 2021 right at the gate. Because there's a lot, you see this problem with their decks like crazy, right? Like artifacts and all sorts of things that like look great for their points and what they actually do in their ass and how many wounds they have until you realize they don't have an avoidable save and there's so many things in the game that are exactly the same as them do. And then you realize, oh my God, I'm paying like 60 points more than I should for this crap. You know, so Tyranids have a lot of that. You can play them. I'm not saying they're unplayable. I'm saying it's like they need an update. They really do. So read the Master.
Yeah, so the Masteron is 235 points?
235, so yeah, like 30.
230, yeah, sure. He is toughness 7, strength 7, 18 wounds, 6 attacks, 3 up.
18 wounds, 3 up save. Invulnerable?
He has a 5 up invulnerable save, and he basically has faux flying. So each time a model makes a normal move, advances, falls back, or a charge move, until the move is finished, he can move horizontal and vertically through models and terrain features.
When you think of Carnifex and how many points a Carnifex is, how many points is a Hauler right now from Death Guard, Wyatt?
It is 100 points.
100 points. Carnifex is like 105, 110 with like a cheap, reasonable loadout. Garbage. So this guy is like 2 Carnifexes in points, a little bit more, but also more wounds, has the fucking invulnerable save. So he's vastly superior than 2 Carnifexes could ever be, even 3.
Yeah.
He moves fast as fuck. He fucks when he touches you. 230, highly reasonable point cost for it. These 18 wound beast that moves around with faux fly, touches things and murders them.
If it kills something with a spine maw,
yes,
then it gets a 5 up.
It has a special ability in close combat. If it like once it does it, it has an all-time 5 up feel no pain. Like 230.
Strategic reserve is done based on number of wounds, right? So
yes.
How many? He has 18 wounds.
It goes by it goes by total power level too, I think.
So how many points is this guy to strategic reserve? Because I don't care if he has a 5 up invul save, he's getting ace turn 1 if you go second. He can't take advantage of obscuring terrain.
He is pretty tall.
Well, he has 18 wounds.
If you could see him, right?
Yeah,
well,
but you'll be
it's the same as a Night Titan. He's huge. It's a huge model.
Yeah,
and he literally he has 18 wounds, so he cannot take advantage of obscuring terrain.
Yeah, which is not So you're gonna be the thing is he's only 230 though.
Right.
And you can torpedo this guy. So it's like it's completely different pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna die. He'll die exactly like the guy with no invulnerable with 30 fucking wounds is still dead.
Right.
Like that's just like making it rain D6s and shit, and this guy can't do anything about it. It's just might as well be just as dead. It's like the whole Leviathan when he had toughness 8, 2 up and a 4 up, he might as well have been a fucking Night Titan. He was harder to kill. So it's like this is a completely different swing of rules. Like they thought about this guy differently. Made this guy reasonable. Like he's not like impossible to kill, but he makes sense for 230. And play it spicy. You know? Love him. Torpedo his ass across the table, do something with him. Now, the other guy was 700 points, who was just so fucking easy to kill. This guy was 230, makes sense. But this is where it's not all created equal. Rob, what's the Atreyu thing?
The Atreyu Lord of War tank.
Atreus.
For Marines, it's 675. If you give it a last cannon, which I don't see why you wouldn't, it would be 705. And it is strength 8, toughness 8, 30 wounds, a 6 attacks if you bump a car into something, a 2 up save. It has a void shield.
Already has the 2 up invulnerable, so it's mitigating 50% more small arms fire.
Yep. It does have the void shields, and they're a little different now. Each void shields has 3 shield points, When it has any void shields, it has a 5-up save against range attacks. So once they go through, they
you have to target the void shields,
right,
and actually do damage to the tank.
Once a void shield has lost a shield point, it continues to lose its shield points until it collapses. So then the attack will be over.
So this thing has 6 shield points,
right? And it can raise them back up on a 5-up. I believe it's a 5-up. Where is it? Well, models void shields can be used to prevent. Oh yeah, they can't do mortal wounds anymore. They don't prevent mortal wounds, which they used to. If at the start of your command phase, this model has a void shield that has fewer than 3 shield points, that void shield is restored to 3 shield points. So basically, get them back for free.
So as long as it still has points, it comes back to full.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then it's got some guns.
It can hold lots of boys.
I don't think it can. I don't think it's a transport.
I thought it had transport capacity. Like it was a bigger.
Doesn't this thing like hold your whole army?
No.
Well, not your whole army, but I think it doesn't have any transport capacity. I thought it had some.
Nope.
Huh.
All right. So what are his guns? I know it has macro cannons.
Yep. It's got the twin macro accelerator cannon, heavy 12, strength 8, neg 2, 3 damage. The plasma eradicator, so it's basically heavy D6 at strength 7, neg 4, 2 damage, or strength 8, 3 damage. Of course, it's going to suffer a mortal wound for each one. And the Las Ripper, which is 36-inch range, heavy 2, strength 9, neg 3, D6 damage.
And you buy it the Las cannon thing, right?
Twin Las, yeah. That switches out with. So you have to choose if you want the Las Ripper or you want to. Oh, it has 2 of those. So it either has 2 Las Rippers or 2 of the plasma eradicators. And then all of its twin heavy bolter can be swapped with the Las cannon.
It murders.
I don't even know.
And it has a 2-up save at toughness 8.
Yeah, it's chonky too with those void shields.
Yeah.
Like that's
and a 2-up and that's toughness 8.
That's why I was like, that's why I asked, Wyatt, like when, like a Carnifex is like the same points reasonably as a hauler. Or a Ascetic Blight hauler, yeah. But one of them has an invulnerable. One has a 5 invulnerable. One doesn't. One has feel no pain. One doesn't. One hits on a 3 with a shitload of guns. One doesn't. It's like every now and then GW forgets to look at other things in their game that are the same points and be like, ooh, because that's all you have to do sometimes. When you're getting lost in your point, construction for like what you should value something at. This tank. This is the points of this fucking tank. And it's cheaper than the fucking flying dragon with no invulnerable. Like, so they are like, well, it's -1 to hit. I was like, bro, there's so much, everything's -1 to hit right now. Like, no, everyone's got a way around -1 to hit. Doesn't mean shit. Like, this thing has a 2-up save and void shields. Literally fucking cheaper. And look at this, look at the guns this thing has. And it has the ability to receive like some psychic blessings and shit like that, right? Some certain psychic powers if it will interact with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter, like, bro. See, that's my problem. That's my problem with Forge World still, even though they are getting better to Wyatt's point. Their deck clearly have improved. But
I mean, all this sounds like it would be OP, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's like 700 points.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
If you want to go all in on that Stormbird for 1K.
Oh my God. Do you like own a Stormbird or something?
I don't. Apparently it's $1,200.
Maybe you should go buy one.
Probably not going to get a Stormbird because it's $1,200, but it looks dope.
You have that Thunderhawk though, right?
I got a Thunderhawk.
Yeah, I know you do.
It's like 800
I don't have the one you painted anymore.
Oh, you got rid of that?
Yes, but somebody has it.
Oh.
It's still around.
I painted it in like 3 days, so.
It's very sweet.
David spent the time on that.
Yeah, doing all the magnetizing the missiles and
that base it's on. Quite crazy.
I do have
No, I mean, and it's crazy because the Storm Raven, the Thunderhawk, is playable. I mean, assuming they can fit a deployment zone, which
I don't know what's your definition of playable though, because it doesn't have an invul like we talked about. Like you have to work at it to get it one, but it is 850.
I mean, it's playable compared to like it was literally unplayable.
That's true.
Yeah,
when
that's
they
what I'm
raise
saying.
this point,
I'm not saying it's good. Yeah, shit sucks. It sucks. It sucks bad. It's just that like I know there's people out there who are dick hard for Thunderhawks that can actually play them now.
It's like at
you know what else I saw is like a Warhound Titan is 2,000 points.
Yeah, they raised that up pretty bad.
Yeah, but you can just bring a Warhound Titan to a game now. It's like the Eldar Titan I got in the case back here. It's just this
the Revenant's actually not bad for 1,500 points.
I think it only has like 4 shots a turn though.
Yeah,
something like that. Or like 4 guns. So that's why it doesn't ever work. It's just
you can never kill.
Also, it has to move in order to get its invul save. So if you go second, it's just like it dies turn 1.
Oh, I don't think you set it up if something can hurt it. It is toughness 9 though. There's not a lot of things out there that are toughness 9 anymore.
Yeah, but it might as well be toughness 8. Fucking John Patrick makes a good point because we talked about this when the orcs dropped. Like all the orc vehicles don't make sense the second you compare them to like a Razorback with an assault cannon.
Yeah.
Like a Space Marine, a Razorback with an assault cannon is
we'll say this,
better in every way.
There was a true gearhead orc at Clutch City GT, and his entire army was buggies. And it does look really cool on the table. Like, and it is really fun.
I think it's better now than it used to be, but it's just an example of point problems. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like when you compare to Thunderhawk, which is roughly the same points, is taking an Ares and an Orion, which we saw somebody do last week.
He got third at Clutch City.
That I would rather do that. They have a 5-up. They have a 5-up invul, and they hit on 2s.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer. Like just bring the 2 of the Custodes flyers.
And like their stuff is still 8th edition, so like Trajan can be like, hey, here's some rerolls.
Yeah, well, we know that's not going to last for long.
Yeah.
Don't ride that crutch right now because you'd be sad when that book hits.
Do what Wyatt did, right? Because the Decimators, they went down to 160, like the old days. So Decimators started at 160. I bought 6, right? Because that was the hotness. Then they said, you know what? They're 210. It's like, ooh, I can't really play them all anymore. And then they were like, you know what? 0 to 3, bitches. It's like, so they were good. I did really well for like a season with them. And then
you went 5-1 at LVO with us.
Yeah. And they're really fucking good, right? I was happy with them. Then the rest of the meta caught up and they were too easy to kill and offense gets strengthened and I put them on the shelf. And now they got good again, even at that point cost because of the new Death Guard stuff. You could play them Death Guard, right? Even at 210, like Wyatt was doing. But Wyatt said, this isn't going to last, and it didn't. Yeah. You can't play them in Death Guard anymore, but they're back down to 160. That is another great example of like it is getting better. Like Forge World can be a part of our game still. Like, and even though it wasn't for a long fucking time, and then it was, and then we had to put restrictions on it, Forge World can be a part of our game now. Yeah. And it seems like you can trust them more now.
It's still very playable. Like Leviathan, the Relic Contemptor,
sure. Some of
the old standards, still very playable. I mean, even Decimators, right? It's just like, can't do it with Death Guard right now, but that was never intended to be done with Decimators. But you can still play them in Chaos and basically do the same thing with a higher offensive capability because you can have them hit on 2s with the Lord Discordant.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. The only thing I'm not excited about is that I don't have any of these rules in my fucking app.
Yeah.
But luckily, GW is hiring a new app guy who's going to fix everything. So,
I mean, if you think about it, the free app, there's actually less content in there now than it was at the beginning.
Oh, no, I don't have to. That's a fact. That's a fact. As new books come out, the app's content value lowers. Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. And there will be a moment when it's no longer valuable and you cancel. And that moment is going to be like the moment I physically have a Death Guard Codex in my hand. for me. Until then, I'll be using that code over Christmas.
Yeah. I think it'll be out before Christmas, Kenny.
Yeah.
The book at least. Yeah. For sure.
And I will literally, bro, somebody can get one for me.
All right. I already told you I would.
No, you get the code for me.
Yeah.
You know you can order things online, right?
Yeah, you can order your codex with Hammerhead just like me.
Oh, I'll just do that.
I mean, unless they're allocated again and they only get like 8.
If they're allocated again, then I'll just do it for the plan one. Plan A.
Oof. Well, also, if you're wondering about the new rules, the new Space Marine rules in the White Dwarf, they are just Ultramarine successor chapters, and they're like, hey, use these traits, and that's what represents this stuff. But we'll have a full post out on the site shortly with them. It was a little lackluster for the build-up, I feel like, but it's cool. They're very themey, neat paint schemes.
I think you're underselling it, Rob. So they're a custom chapter with custom doctrines, but they have access to Ultramarine stratagems, arguably the best set of Space Marine stratagems.
I think Deathwatch would agree with that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucking good. Marines, Christmas, every day, all day, every day. Like, just.
Yep. That's a good time.
When this is all over, guys, we all need to get together and make a Marine army and move in together, get an apartment.
You know, I keep pitching the gaming compound, and you guys keep turning me down. And it's just like, I told you there's no taxes. Like,
where?
Taxes.
Where?
We've been over this.
There's no taxes in Texas?
Yeah, I don't have to pay property taxes. So we pool our money to buy the property, right? We build us each a nice house, and in the center of the compound, we have a dope like man cave rec center for all of our gaming needs.
All of our Space Marine needs.
Yeah, we all get golf carts, so we never have to walk anywhere. And then we register as a church, so we don't have to pay income taxes.
That's right.
Where do the cats go?
It's free range.
You can have a whole house for your cats if you want to.
There's going to be a field set aside. It's Texas. It never gets cold. Okay. And it's just a field of baskets, bow ties, and cool things for cats to fuck around with.
Things to hug.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I might be interested.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds marvelous.
Only one rule, though. Space Marines.
Yeah.
Custodies count.
Yeah. Of course.
Excellent.
We're not going to hold you to the strictest interpretation of our doctrine, of scripture.
Yeah, we're not that one narc from the Space Marine game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that guy.
What was his name? Titus or something?
Yeah, I don't remember. He was a jerk.
What a nerd.
Wasn't Titus the main guy?
Was Titus the main guy? I forget I don't know. He had like his little like ward who was like the new guy, and he was like a fucking narc.
He was.
He's like, oh, Titus broke the code.
Leandros?
Yeah, it was Leandros.
Jimmy Norris came in clutch. Yeah.
He's
3D6. Fuck Leandros.
He is the hot rod of 40K universe.
Fucking hot rod in his prime up in here.
Jeez. Wow.
I like chat's all like fucking Leandros. They know. They're fucking
we all hate him.
Fuck that guy. The worst.
Oh, wow.
Titus was awesome.
Yes.
Leandros, little bitch.
Yeah. Well, funny thing about that too, when we were first playing that, when it came out, and it's the command squad, and they're attacking that orc ship, and he puts on the jetpacks, and Leandros calls him out for this is against the codex.
Yeah, we're command squad. We only get bikes, dog. We don't get jetpacks.
That's what was hilarious, is that a command squad could not take jump packs.
Yeah.
So it was like,
he's like, it's more like those are a recommendation. Yeah, guidelines.
It's like the codex is not meant to be so narrowly interpreted, Leandros.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You gonna sell me out for that?
Just go tell you the Inquisition.
Just sell you out to the Inquisition.
Fuck you.
Like a bitch. Terrible.
Who was helping him? The Black Templars. Ugh.
Terrible person.
God.
Well, good show. We had a legendary Haspil's Corner. Happy birthday again, Haspil. Congratulations on not being 50.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll do it again next year.
Yep.
One more year, right?
Yep. if we make it there.
Yeah,
84 years from now.
In the wasteland, time has no meaning.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
This is the 11th year of 2020.
Is that what we're doing? Is it 1 month equals a year in 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should be a good start.
That explains a lot about my body right now. All right, fuck it. Let's conclude the show. Oh, yeah. And one last reminder, right? Taking Thanksgiving off for obvious reasons. Yep. If you're listening to this podcast and you skipped around and you missed that early in the show, we'll see you guys again after Black Friday on the 3rd.
Yep. Everybody have a good Turkey Day and such. Yeah. Haspil, take us out of here.
No, I'm from Iowa. I only work in outer space.